Jacob from XMPie. I mean, quite frankly, he's been at the forefront of that software development, digital printing for as long as we can remember, I think, is the real terms on that. And what we're going to talk about actually is again, the theme that we're talking about, the multi-channel marketing mix. So, I'm finished. Jacob.
Okay, thank you. Okay, good afternoon. Some of what I'm going to talk about was already discussed, but I still believe that I may put some framework around everything. I'm representing XMPie, and we are a software company that aims to do software that enables the integration of print and digital, integration of the virtual world and physical world. Maybe there's a little bit aspirative or aspiration, but let me talk a little bit about what we are here all about, of seeing print and the digital world somehow together. So, multi-channel, some people call it omni-channel. Of course, there are differences. If I talk with an audience, and some of the audience here is coming from brands or from agencies, typically, when you say multi-channel to this audience, whoever here is from that audience, they don't see print as part of the experience. It's all digital. Of course, now we are after half a day of talks where print all the time was talking about, but typically, multi-channel or omni-channel, it's only digital. It's the digital experience. So my goal here is to simply give you a sense that print, that's what I want to do in the session, that print can be an equal citizen in the touch points of the multi-channel experience. Exactly like email, exactly like landing sites, same difficulty, same integration, of course, different value. Now, the value of print was already spoken here for quite some time, but I still go with very few examples. So I think I'm just restating some of the stuff that was stated already. It's creatively engaging. I mean, there's no match to the creative that you can do in a print media. It's data-driven and personalized, which some people have not recognized that print is as personalizable and as customizable as any digital media. It can be immediate and on demand. I'll talk about it a little bit. And it can always trigger a dialogue. So you have several different examples here. My goal was to show you that they can be beautiful, including effects of like the Angelina over there. It's like an image effect and a variety of other things. Let's look at a few examples. Here is an example of a menu. This is the winter menu, summer menu. The example here is not so much for massive variable data printing, but it could be different dietary practices, or there were other examples even in previous sessions where such a thing could be used. And the point here is that everything can be changed, whether it's image, text, layout, background, style of text, all of that stuff. Another example of a home equity loan, where someone was thinking about creating a threefold brochure and approaching people according to their demographics and what you know from whatever statistics. So here is the layout of the whole thing. So certain kind of family, I forgot the name of empty nesters, or maybe beyond that. That's what they will be offered. And the piece is designed in such a way that all of these areas that we highlighted are customizable and personalizable. And so other people will get that, and other people will get that. And all of this is done, of course, on the fly, on demand, as part of the print run, because it's all data-driven with rules and everything. You don't need to say, oh, I'm creating now the 20,000 for the single, or the 30,000 for the empty nesters. It's all part of the run, and it can be very nice and beautiful. One important consideration that I think is important to make, when we say print, we think on print, on tangible stuff, on something that comes out in print. It's important to remember that when you use the tools, the design tools for print, and let's say the designers know what to do, because some people think that maybe they don't, so they need to teach them. But let's assume people created the right stuff. When you use the design tools for print, the end result can be, of course, PDF with all the qualities, the design, the quality, the color, all the beauty of print, but maybe you want to consume it electronically. Maybe it's an attachment to an email, maybe it's something that you click on a link and you get the PDF, but that PDF is print quality, not in the sense that you will print it, in the sense that it will represent all what you wanted to show. And in order to get it, you have to work the print workflow in the preparation. This is why I mentioned that you can look at print as print, literally, that comes out in print, and also as stuff prepared in the print workflow, but consumed digitally, and it's on demand. Here is an example from some catalog, two different people, two different content and design. We try to come up with a gimmick of the 4 Ps of print. It's physical, we talked about it. It's permanent. Many people talked about the fact that it's there, you can share it, you can move it. It's personal. I think by now everybody knows that print can be very personal. And it's provoking. It creates action because it's engaging, because it's something that can do something. We have different examples of it. But so bottom line, print is something that can be very modern and very effective. Of course, you may need to choose if you want to use it or not. And the next thing is to talk about the fact that print and digital can be part of one strategy. And I want to show you that. So there are examples. Here is an example for a non-profit where people are engaged to support a child and through a nice piece. But then the whole concept is that they can interact with the image of the child, whether it's the mobile device or through a digital. So there is a journey of the sponsor that starts, in this case, with print and continues in the digital domain. Telecom, again, very similar concept. You'll see several like that. In this case, again, engaging in print. No, it's not always the case that you engage in print, but I'm showing some examples like that. The importance here is that you have a print piece and a digital piece, either mobile or regular screen. The pattern that I showed, this is a busy slide, I'll explain it, but the pattern that I showed is a pattern in the examples that we showed so far. You see a pattern that starts, like this is the journey, this is the multi-channel experience. It starts with a print piece. In this case, it's a personalized catalog or personalized catalog cover that engages the person through, in this case here, well, I don't have, you see here the QR code. So it engages the person, they can scan it in and get into a dialogue in the digital space to get more information, to get their discount. And as part of the interaction, they provide some more information and they can get the discount, in this case, as either a printed piece or a PDF piece. And that's just an example of a cycle. It's a pattern. You engage, you continue the dialogue, you do it, and it's all consistent. It's no surprise when you go to the print, to the landing site. It's not coming from 2 different sites or 2 different organizations. And the information feeds back, and the print can be done from the information all the time. It's all online and live. Very similar thing, this is a case of a health insurance application where the interaction starts digitally through some website or whatever. Based on the information that you provide, you get a booklet of the health insurance or what kind of insurance that you got. And if you want to share it, you can actually scan a QR code and you get the PDF on your mobile device and you can send it to whoever you want to send. So but the same pattern. The pattern is enabled through technology. There are many different technologies. I'm here for XMPie, so I'm not going to be objective or anything like that. But you have to have technology where the print is managed, handled, driven, created in the same metaphors as the digital. Digital is all online. The data is in the database, the script was executed, the content goes to the web page. Something was changed in the database, bam, you see it in the web page. Print, for certain people, is something that goes through the print buyer. You say print buyer, you kill the whole thing. Why? Because it's not online anymore. Some people in certain technologies in print, you say, okay, you want a job of 100,000? Okay, we need to prepare everything in advance, and only then we can run the job. So the magic here is that driving the print content, the print personalization, is done from the database, with scripts, all the time, through the production, no preparation. And that means that if something happened in the digital media, and an update went into the database, if you go now to the print, you'll see it. If you prepared everything in advance, you will not. But with technology, and maybe there are others, all of this beauty can happen. So how do we put all of it together? You bring a framework of, call it campaign workflow, marketing automation. There are several different tools. Ours is called Circle. It puts everything together under one framework. So if you look at this flow of campaign, this is the story of the personalized catalog. The personalized catalog has content on the cover, and specifically in this project, there was also an insert. The cover can trigger a landing site. You provide some information, and you get back a PDF, in this case, of the discount. If you did not respond in the landing site, let's say a week after something was sent, then we approach you with email reminding you, and that can bring to the same place. So this is the pattern. Similar patterns were shown in other cases, even this morning. Some patterns, similar tool. And the beauty of putting it in a framework where media, digital and print, are all integrated is this. I can now see what will be the experience of a particular person. This will be their catalog. This will be their landing site. This will be their email reminder if they didn't go there. And this will be their set of coupons. So if I look at it and let's say we go to the next person, and it's in the system. I mocked it up here, but it's in the system. If you use Circle, you get it. The power to sketch the concept and then show the content in the sketch is dramatic, because this is, I think, breaking communication barriers between whoever implements to whoever wants it. It allows to visualize it. And so overall, very powerful. Of course, something that doesn't show in the presentation, when you go to the digital side of the campaign, like in this case, the landing site, it better be most modern, responsive design, whatever, all the buzzwords about digital. It has to be the most modern digital experience. So you're not paying on what you can do in the digital experience in order to achieve something in print. It has to be state-of-the-art in both sides. And that's what we also provide. But it's important. So I want to put some closing remarks here. Maybe I won't use all my time, so I have more questions. Don't lock yourself into a digital-only strategy. And again, the audience here is not like everybody on digital-only or everybody on print. So I was not sure exactly how the audience will be. But in many cases, digital-only is something that people try to go to because it's there, it's easy, they understand, it's can't, and it's not so expensive. The point I'm trying to make is that putting print into the story doesn't change the whole thinking, doesn't change the metaphor of multi-channel, doesn't change the metaphor of live, online, interactive. It's possible. I think that by now we know that pure digital experiences, they can be very powerful in certain cases, but they can also lead to a lot of clutter. Because if you didn't act on it the moment you saw it, probably you lost it. And by the time you get all of these different emails and different messages and apps and etc., you can get confused. I'm not saying it's not working, but you can get confused. So obviously, avoiding confusion is very important. One way of avoiding confusion is the clarity that you get when you use print, because it's there. It's not going to not be there because the network is not there, and it has a certain value. And a lot of discussions in the earlier sessions about the perceived value of print, and so it may help overcoming some of the clutter. Overall, I would say that quite a while ago, the world had to be pushed to be digital. And Nicolas Negroponte wrote a book about being digital. And what we are saying, and it's not, again, I'm not claiming here any XMPie specific innovation, what we are saying, we have to be digital and physical. And that's something that the two worlds are playing together. And in order to do it in a way that will not sacrifice one for the other, you have to have the right technology, because they have to play in the same modern thinking, where data is king, current, timely information is important, but then you want also not to lose the tangible, the tactile, the elegance, the creative power, et cetera, of the print media. So that's roughly what I have to say. If you have any questions. Okay. Thank you.